Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Wrestling Madness Podcast, EPW Special. That's right, EPW, my hometown promotion. And tonight I will talk on this show about a show that took place April 26th, 2014 at Newton Aycliffe Leisure Centre. Great card, saw this on YouTube, so without further ado, let's talk about the matches. We're going to kick off with Damien Hellfire versus Supermark for the EPW British Heavyweight Championship belt. Now, I have to admit, I've got my eye on this British title myself if I decide to come back to EPW, but that's another story for another day. The bell rings and Hellfire jumps him, jumps Supermark, and Supermark's pondering to the crowd and everything, and Damien just jumps him from behind and takes control from that, bouncing Supermark's head off the turnbuckles until Supermark countered the last attempt and took control. Supermark in control of Hellfire, doing X-Pac-like kicks, or Daniel Bryan-like kicks, whatever you see fit, in the corner at one point. Hellfire takes control after being whipped into the corner and able to catch Supermark with a boot, then takes his head off with a clothesline. Hellfire one step ahead of Supermark to a point when he controls Supermark with an armbar, looking to make him give up. Supermark manages to counter out, but Hellfire was too close to the ropes. Hellfire rakes the eyes to take control back of the match. Hellfire did really test Supermark's, did really test the ref's limits, so to speak, because there was a few occasions where he could have been disqualified. Supermark takes control back out of nothing and takes the fight to Hellfire, but Hellfire one step ahead catches him with yet another clothesline and hits a beautiful suplex after that as well. One mistake by Hellfire, Supermark gets a near fall and Hellfire manages to low blow Supermark, regaining control of the match and making the referee unaware of what had happened. Hellfire does a CM Punk like move, springboard, but instead of doing a clothesline he does an elbow, beautifully executed, found its mark. Supermark then manages to mount a comeback with Daniel Bryan kicks, the kicks where he kicks him in the chest and he goes, and the crowd normally shouts yes, 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 and gets that on Hellfire and manages to get a near fall out of it. Hellfire regains control, but one mistake finds him on the receiving end of a figure four leg lock by Supermark. Supermark also hits a side effect as well, beautifully done. Supermark remains in control and delivers a top rope drop kick and gets a near fall out of it. However, Hellfire uses dirt tactics and hits a very nice DDT on Supermark, the EPW British Heavyweight Champion. Supermark manages to hit a diving elbow and gets a near fall after hitting his CM Punk neckbreaker. Hellfire hits a stunner like maneuver. I believe it was a stunner because it was Supermark took it as a stunner and goes up top rope to hit a swanton bomb but misses, and Supermark hits him with a boot, hits an uppercut on the guy and then executes the running knee, the Daniel Bryan running knee for the 1-2-3 to retain title, the EPW British Heavyweight Championship belt. Great match all around, great way to start off the show, very good, great challenger, Damien Hellfire, great champion, give him his due, Supermark, and yes, also along the way, Supermark had a nice little cheerleader on the outside, the ring announcer. Like I said, if you listen to the Red Car podcast, the EPW podcast on the Red Car show, April 20th, you know exactly how I feel about that ring announcer. Like I say, I'll save my breath for another day. The next match on the card was Power Dragon against Mark Anthony. To start this match, there was train wrestling between the pair, which was mainly the story of the match, basically, because that's what it was. These two trying to wrestle each other and wrestling, basically, because there wasn't a lot of time in this match. This was a very short match. However, there was more chain wrestling. There was chain wrestling at the beginning of it, and Mark Anthony basically won and was one step ahead of Power Dragon. And Power Dragon gets a side headlock and hits Anthony with a shoulder block, knocking him down, and then points to the skies, wishing he was Sabu. Yes, he did like a point to the skies, but I saw it looked like he was trying to, portray himself as Sabu, so to speak. Either way, Mark Anthony then hits 3 clotheslines, which Power Dragon manages to go outside the ring. Power Dragon gets brought back into the ring the hard way. Boy, did he ever get brought back in the hard way. Mark Anthony takes control and goes for a sharpshooter on Power Dragon, but Power Dragon rakes the eyes and then takes control of the match. Power Dragon hitting a Mr. Perfect neckbreaker, which is where the opponent sits on his butt on the floor on the canvas, and the guy comes in from behind and does like a forward bump, so to speak, and grabs the neck, brings it forward. A neck snapshot, so to speak. Very effective nonetheless, and if you watch Mr. Perfect in action, you know he used to do that move very much. God bless you, Mr. Perfect. Power Dragon then hits a signature top rope leg drop, nicely done, and gets a near fall. Mark Anthony gets back into the match and starts rallying back into it and hits and is a version of the Undertaker old school again, effective. Mark Anthony has Power Dragon where he wants him, looking to finish him off with a sharpshooter. However, Mickey Finn causes a distraction to allow Power Dragon to get the 1-2-3 with a roller. And then Mickey bad-mouthing the crowd. Power Dragon gets the win, by the way. Yep, Mickey Finn runs his mouth off and challenges anyone to a match in the EPW locker room by rating the Newton Aycliffe crowd that were there that day and just shooting his mouth off. Basically, I think he went to the Prince of Mean school of basically running your mouth off. Did it very well. And like I said, challenges anyone to come out for a match. Says he'll fight anyone in the EPW locker room. Out comes Asylum and the match is on. And Mickey continues to run his mouth and then accepts the match with Asylum. Mickey starts the match off with dirty tactics, but Asylum turns it around with a boot neckbreaker combo to get the advantage on Mickey and send him out to the ring, to the arena floor. Asylum then chases Mickey around the ring and Mickey gets into the ring and goes for an elbow drop on Asylum but misses. Tries it again but misses. And goes for a third attempt and misses again. And then Asylum goes up to the top rope. Yes, you heard me right. He goes up to the top rope and the monster comes off with a double axe handle, getting an advantage on Mr. Finn. Mickey gets back in the ring, but Asylum for that point has his numb. Mickey then takes control of the match, testing the referee's patience, running around the ring, basically trying to buy some time and whatnot, and basically waste time, basically. But gets back in and Mickey then using whatever it takes to get an advantage on the Asylum, but it didn't work yet. Mickey starts to control the monster after finally getting in the ring and getting an advantage on him, and starts wrestling him and starts using wrestling ability to control the monster and gets a near fall in the process. Mickey still testing the referee's patience. He spent more time arguing with the referee than focusing on his opponent, Asylum, which was a big mistake. Ring announcer starts thinking he's the ref, trying to do his job. At one point, Mickey had, I believe, was doing something dirty. I believe it was grabbing him in the ropes and like facing the corner, like a neck kind of thing. He's basically faced on the ropes, neck on the rope and everything, and Mickey's like grabbing out of him, pushing him down. And he's a nice guy, but he's a gobshite. Gobshite on the outside said, get off the ropes, thinking he was the referee. Well, there's a referee in the damn ring. God's sakes. Seriously, I really don't know what that guy's role is. I really don't. It does my head in, but in any event, I move on. I digress, as Jim Cornette would say. Mickey starts to take control of in the match, really wrestling the monster down, but again, still takes control and still along the way decides to test the referee's patience. Because at some point during the match, he could have seriously been disqualified, but the referee allowed it to continue. Asylum tries to fight back, but no luck. Mickey Finn still one step ahead of him. Mickey shows some power with a suplex on the monster. Asylum mounts a comeback, bouncing Finn's head off the turnbuckle, but Mickey regains control and starts to toy with the monster and controls him to his size and his pace. Give the guys credit, he hits a beautiful enziguri on the monster, rallying him and knocking him to his knees, basically. Mickey wrestles the monster down. That's what Mickey was trying to do. That was the story of Mickey's strategy in this match. Wrestling him, using his experience, dirty tactics along the way, but using his experience to try and control the monster. Bit of chain wrestling goes on, and I think Mickey was ended up going for a pedigree. It looked like that way because he had him in a position, and Asylum countered it and countered his way straight into a straight mic check, which is the move, if you've seen the mic check, which is basically grabbing out of him and front but back kind of move, and gets a near fall with it. Asylum mounts a comeback using his power and gets a Baldo bomb, which is the choke slam, which is the choke, grab the guy by both hands and then lifts him up, power bombs him. Very effective and gets a near fall out of it. Asylum goes up top, but Mickey stops it, but Mickey takes too much time to take the advantage, but manages to hit a perfect Frankenstein along the way. He got a Frankenstein, gets a near fall out of it while he's doing poses. You know, he's got his foot on the back of the guy. He's posing to the crowd. I mean, maybe he's been watching too many Chris Jericho videos from WCW. Mickey goes for the pedigree again, but Asylum counters it, and Mickey finds his way into a black hole slam, and Asylum gets the 1-2-3. Great match again. Great match. Good solid match. Credit to Mickey. He did everything he could, but Asylum was too strong for the guy, and Asylum got the win. Good match all around. And now on to the Monster Destroyers versus Hillbilly Kid and Highland Fury. Monster Destroyers with Vixen. What boy did she get around against Hillbilly Kid and Highland Fury. Now, the Monster Destroyers attacked Highland Fury and Hillbilly Kid before the bell even rang and took control. You know, like sneak attack. They're on the outside cheering in the crowd. Monster Destroyers just said the hell with it and just went out and attacked him. But Hillbilly Kid kind of reminded me in this match, if you look back on it, the links will be in the description on YouTube, he reminded me, right, and it's the God's honest truth, of Dick Slater. Anybody, and you know, anybody who remembers the NWA, the old NWA, will know who Dick Slater is. I believe he was Cowboy Bob Orton's tag team partner at one point as well. Yeah, he had some Dick Slater in him, really did. Highland Fury makes a mistake that allows the Master Destroyers to take control back. Yeah, they regain control, but one mistake, as I've always said, one mistake cost you, and the Destroyers started using a leg lock submission hold, you know, to test him. Destroyers testing the ref's patience, the ref's limits. I think on a number of occasions in this match they could have been disqualified. Destroyers dominating, yes, the domination began. Highland Fury could not keep up with them, could not get a fight back, and the Destroyers just kept him away from his partner and used basic tag team wrestling. Highland Fury hits a beautiful suplex counter and tags Hillbilly Kid in. Destroyers also one step ahead, quick to regain control and continue their dominance, using their quickness and size to their advantage. Also using dirty tactics as well to keep him in control of the match, using basic tag team wrestling on the Hillbilly Kid, keeping him away from his tag team partner Highland Fury. Nice leg drops by the Destroyers, connecting on all of them. Destroyers using their 5 count to the advantage. You know, you've got that 5 count when you take somebody and you have a foul count and a double team to double team the opponent, and there's nothing the referee can do about it except count to 5. You know, if you go beyond the 5, you'll get disqualified. It didn't last because Hillbilly Kid tags in Highland Fury, but the big monster Destroyer catches him coming in as he's about to come through the ropes. Destroyer cuts that off. Destroyers again pushing the referee's patience big time. Again, a number of points in this match they could have been disqualified. A miscommunication by the Destroyers allows the Hillbilly Kid to be tagged in. Went for a double clothesline miss. Highland Fury hits a double clothesline on both of them. The Hillbilly Kid gets tagged in. Hillbilly Kid threw a few fists on the Destroyer. Went to tag in Highland Fury. He jumped down off the apron and did not want to be tagged in. Kid then turns around, takes a spear, and the Destroyers pick up a win. Then Destroyers hold the Hillbilly Kid and Highland Fury spears him. Then they do a shield-like triple powerbomb on Hillbilly Kid. Oh, and another point in this match that I noticed, Vixen didn't even get involved, which makes a change. Whatever happens will happen, I suppose. Their services were not required in this match. On to the Royal Rumble match, which had 9 participants in it altogether, which were Micky Finn, Asylum, Highland Fury, Mark Anthony, Damien Hellfire, Hillbilly Kid, Destroyer, and Supermark, and Destroyer as well, the other Destroyer. Both Destroyers were in this. Order contested as Micky Finn, number 1, Asylum number 2, Highland Fury number 3, Mark Anthony number 4, Damien Hellfire number 5, Hillbilly Kid number 6, the first Destroyer number 7, Supermark, and then the other Destroyer came in last, a big 300-pounder, 300 to 400-pounder, so to speak. I don't know how much he weighs, but he's a big man nonetheless. Micky Finn was eliminated by Mark Anthony, which allowed Mark Anthony to win. Micky Finn trying to play some tactics in the match, hiding on the outside, hiding around the ring, trying to sneak a victory, so to speak, but Mark Anthony was having none of it, and one mistake from Micky Finn allowed Mark Anthony to go over the top rope. Asylum got eliminated by Micky Finn. Highland Fury was out by Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony won it. Damien Hellfire was out by Mark Anthony. Hillbilly Kid was out by Mark Anthony. Boy, did he take a beating this show, I tell you. Both Destroyers were out by Mark Anthony, and Destroyer number 2, the big 300-pound monster, was out by Hellfire as well. Hellfire and Mark Anthony double teaming the Destroyer to get eliminated. And Damien Hellfire got his revenge on Supermark as well by eliminating him as well. And like I say, Mark Anthony won the Royal Rumble event, ending what was a good night from what it was from what I saw on YouTube in Newton Aycliffe. Look out, and that's it for this episode, or this special edition. Look out for April 27th one. I will be bringing that to you. And until next time for more EPW specials, I've been Anthony Walker. This has been the Wrestling Matters podcast. Thank you so much, and goodbye.